Good Monday. It's G Force. Tom Ginn. We will be right back. It is Monday. G is for gratitude. That was brought to you by ASEA, which allows me to bring on these programs. G is for gratitude. ASEA is my corporate sponsor. Want to learn more about that? Just message me and I'll be glad to share with you this amazing technology. But today, Monday, I'm so grateful for everything in my life. New friends, new opportunities, a new day, a sunny day. I'm so grateful for everything that's happening. But before we get into a short lesson today, I'm still working in chapter 3 in Rex Sikes' book, Life on Your Own Terms. I'm just going to cover 3 small points that are, I think, important as we build how to win, how to create that life you've dreamed of, that you desire, on your own terms. We talked the other day a little bit about whose terms are you building your life on, and Rex really has outlined some very significant ways to approach living your life on your own terms. I've got a whole slew of hundreds of books on personal development and personal training from John Maxwell and some other significant people. Bob Proctor, I've studied his materials. I'm a certified consultant with the Proctor Gallagher Institute. And what Rex outlines here is something you pick up and put to work right now. You don't have to read it like a novel. You just take a page or two and just dive into it. Like Bob Proctor's, most people do not understand how to study. And study means you look, you reflect. How do you attach yourself, especially when it's coming to working with your mind? How do you make those changes? Because we can take a look at the results we have in our life up to this moment, and you can track it back to your thinking, your subconscious thinking, your belief systems, your attitudes. How strong were your visions, your purpose and whys? Those can be all tracked back. And like Einstein said, if you want to go, all your thinking and all your results that you have today are accumulation of everything from the past. But if you want to go from point B to point C, you've never been on that journey before. You can build off of many of the things that got you to here, but you have a whole different set of new thinking to get you to point C. You can't use the same thinking. There's something in your thinking that will be a stumbling block or a resistance or a belief or an attitude that's going to keep you where you're at. So today we're going to cover 3 simple principles, but I got some announcements that I want to make coming up this week. We're approaching a major holiday, our 4th of July holiday, a celebration of our birth of this magnificent country, 4th of July. The liberties, the freedoms, and everything we have. And I'm so grateful that we had forefathers that had wisdom and guidance, a divine providence working with them to create the best document ever written, how to govern man in the form of government. And our rights are God-given. They're not government-given. And I believe celebrating this weekend is going to be fun. You have barbecues and fireworks, time with your family and friends. Those are all important. But really take some time to celebrate the birthday of this country, because this country affords you more rights, more liberties, more freedom than any other place on earth. Don't take it for granted, folks. Don't take it for granted. Embrace it, hold it, be grateful for this country, be grateful for this moment, be grateful for your freedoms and liberty. But I got some announcements this week. Tonight, let me get this up here. Those announcements are tonight. Mark Gassard is on a family week with his family, vacationing, spending time. So it's myself doing Elevate Your Profits. And we're bringing in tonight at 6 p.m. Wes Wyatt. Now, Wes has been on in the past, but we're going to talk what it's going to take in these new environment that where we're at today to succeed in business. Take a look at what's happening with cost of goods and service and inflation. What does he see? What do we need to do to carry forward and be more prosperous? And so that's tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Turn on your notifications, and we'll see you then. Wes Wyatt. And on Wednesday, I'm interviewing on Own Your Own Health, Dr. Christy Vanacore. She was on Ken Wall's program. I saw the interview. This program, Own Your Own Health, is about bringing new level of awareness in all aspects of your life, how to integrate this. And we're going to be talking about holistic approach to psychological well-being. She's going to share her book, her journey. Turn on your notification. You don't want to miss it. She's an incredible person to help people get through the muck of life that we all have. So she'll be on Wednesday. We're doing it at 10 a.m. Central Time. So turn on your notification. A little bit different than noon, but we're doing it at 10 a.m. Central Time. Christy Vanacore, Dr. Christy Vanacore. And another announcement. Her book is here. Her book is here. The Soul of Ethical Service. Her book is ready. And so I just want to make that announcement about her book. If you want to learn more about her book, the Book Baby, you can go to bookbaby.com, go to the bookstore and put her name in, and it'll bring up her book. It'll give you a good indication. The Soul of Ethical Service. This is a book from the feedback we're getting. It's not just about the people in her profession, the holistic and massage industry, that anybody should be reading this book, because it's in essence who we show up as at an ethical place determines how relationships are formed, how businesses are formed, how success is formed. So I highly encourage you to take a good hard look at it. She's done a wonderful job. The feedback from her colleagues and other people is actually, I'm humbled for her to what they're saying. It's a must read. It's a must read. So all the information there, those are my announcements for today. But let's get back on life on your own terms. I always like to start out this. What is your why? What is it the reason that you get up in the morning? Is it just to get to the office, get to the job, get the kids to school? What is your real why? What's your real purpose? Because I think when I get into a couple points here today, I think it's very important that you're clear of your vision and your purpose and why every day, and reaffirm it. It's the fuel that'll get you through all the obstacles and setbacks and things that life throws at us. So turn on your notifications, tag and share with your friends, especially tonight's Wes Wyatt and Wednesday, and take a good hard look at what we're presenting. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for this very moment? Because no matter what's happening, this is the most valuable. I say it over and over and over again, but many times we just take things for granted. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? So let's talk a little bit about Rex's book here. And again, Life on Your Own Terms. It's sort of my own personal book review. I'm just interjecting my feelings and my thoughts and my perceptions based on what I've read, what I understand, something new that has come to me, and out of this book. It's not just reading it and that type of thing, but it's a book. You should study it the way I'm talking about it. Just get in here and mark it up. I'm going to cover 3 points today. 3 points in chapter 3. I mean, I looked through this. I said, I'll be able to, cover a chapter. This chapter is pretty lengthy, but it's such a foundational chapter of how to start creating that life on your own terms is so important. I'm just going to take a little subtitles. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Henry Ford had made that statement. If you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. So what's your thinking? What are your first thoughts of taking your life in creating a life on your own terms? Do you think you can or you think you can't? Law works 100%. If you say you can, you're right. If you say you can't, you're right again. See, because what we feed our subconscious mind, it's not deductive. It just takes what we take it. It takes this truth. So your first thought are so critical to understand. And it tells you which direction you go. Is the thought in direct relationship to your purpose and why? I'll get into that here in a moment. Is it positive? Or are you focusing on negative? Or are you thinking good or bad? We think first. Many times we talk and then we take action. What are the words you're saying? Words have power. Words have power. Study the thoughts that you have, the words, what the words you say. So most of the words that people use are negative. We're talking about being poor. We got bills. We got debt. We're not feeling good. Our back hurts. We got a tumor. We're unhappy. We're worried. We're stupid, and so on. Evaluate your conversations, folks. Do you see yourself complaining and giving yourself self-doubt? Or are you listening to other people's self-doubt and negative thoughts? Are you dialoguing with negative thoughts? I don't dialogue with negative thoughts. When somebody comes with me negatives, contrary to my values, my belief systems, and my purpose and my why, I just acknowledge, thank you for sharing. That's interesting. How did you come to that realization? How did you come to that? I want to see why, but I'm not going to entertain it. I'm not just shutting it off, but I do not engage in those conversations. Don't get sucked in. Are you getting sucked in to negative thinking? Are you creating the negative thinking? Are you creating the environment in the conversation? It's important to start analyzing those things. We got to learn to start telling our brain what we want. I want prosperity. I am prosperous. I am happy. I am joyous. I am. I'm not wanting to become. I am. I am. You start manifesting it now, it will, in your mind, it will start manifesting in behaviors and habits. And you start putting those things out, you start seeing things different, you start seeing things more clearly, and you're going to be able to move in the direction of life on your own terms. Many times we look at our past, and we can look at our past one of two ways. What can I take away from it that's going to help me fulfill my purpose, vision, and why in life? Even those negative things, the disappointments, tragedies we have, or circumstances that come in our life that we didn't have control of, how to respond? What can we learn from those and then move forward? Let the past go. You cannot move forward straddling a line in one foot in the past and one foot where you're at. You can't put your foot in the future. You can put your mind in the future, but you can't put your foot in the future. You got to manifest it first, move in that direction, and then things start showing up in this moment. Celebrate. Don't beat yourself up. Is life happening to you, or is life giving you a lesson? Life is giving me a lesson. Life is giving me a lesson. You still continue to talk about words like debt and bills and poor and tumor and unhappy. Those are the message. And you will seek out, not consciously, but you will seek out those things to support your thinking. What we focus on expands. Want to make it shift? We talked about the other day, just 1 degree. How do you make a change? One step at a time, one small increment. And every day you just eat that elephant one bite at a time. Before you know it, you've manifested something that you really want. See, worse yet, people keep thinking the same thoughts over and over and over again and expecting a different result. We've heard that many different times by different thought leaders out there. We don't want to create a negative loop. That's that replay, just negative and negative and negative and negative and negative. You've got to splice that loop, infill it with something positive, emotionally attached, and create a new loop. And that's why repetition of saying this, a new idea over and over again with I am so happy and grateful now, with excitement and enthusiasm and conviction. We're emotional creatures. We only make changes when we have an emotional attachment. That's the only time we make changes. Got to have a new emotional attachment. Stop the negative loop. Do you want them to continue? Probably the answer is no, right? Good questions. This is the third point. And I'm going to expand a little bit on to some of the things I've learned and how this comes in to what I've learned and how it just solidifies my path of growth and expansion and continue learning. Good questions produce good results. We can look in the past. We can ask questions. But you want to ask the right questions. You don't ask the question, what went wrong? Let's find what went right. What can we do differently? And I think one of the things to expand on this, to ask the right questions, is like Dr. Miles Monroe teaches. When your vision and purpose and why is so clearly defined, it's clear as a picture, it makes life easeful. The questions you ask will be, does it support my vision? Does it support my why? Does it support my purpose? When you ask those questions, because those things are positive. They're the outcomes you seek. They're the things you desire. And when you ask your questions, ask them in relationship to your vision. If it doesn't support any of those things, you let it go, because it would be a negative influence. It's not supporting. So why give your mind things that won't support what you want? Because your mind doesn't know the difference. You will start creating habitual beliefs and habits that will create actions that will give you results that you didn't desire. What are you focusing on? What are you focusing on? See, your subconscious is going to take the instructions you give it, plain and simple. So if you're really clear on your purpose, your vision, your why, like Dr. Monroe, life becomes easeful. And then when things come in your life, you ask that question, is it supporting the outcome I seek? That vision, purpose, and why. If it doesn't, don't entertain it. Move it out of the way. Is that person that you're associating with, is it supporting your purpose, vision, the circle you hang around? If it doesn't, you got to change your circle. Doesn't mean you eliminate them out of your life, but you allow those people to be the influences to you creating the life on your own terms. Plain and simple. What is that he says here? Does it serve you? I say, and I just highlighted in there, does it serve your vision? That's you. Manifest it in your mind at an emotional level, and things start moving in that direction. Understand first thought. How do you think? But more importantly, analyze how you feel based on those words and thoughts that you have. And respond accordingly, not reacting. Reacting is negative. We need to learn to respond. Then we affirm those things that are serving. So we affirm over and over and over. I'm so happy and grateful now. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am, and you fill in the blank. See, when we talk about our debt or lack or struggling and inflation, what does that make you feel? Doesn't make you feel too positive, does it? But you know what? Even in 1929, with the crash of the American economy, more millionaires were ever made than in the history of any given time. So they didn't let the circumstances control how they thought and what they were going to do. If you just focus in on, gas is $5-6 a gallon, and man, I can't go on my vacation, and man, grocery prices are going up, blah, blah, blah. Hey, it is what it is. But you change your thinking about it, not get sucked into that loop. You let your creativity come through, you will find ways to overcome those challenges. There are solutions to anything that we have. There's two sides of every situation, a positive and a negative. That's what I love about Bob Proctor. He helps you take a look at the coin and recognize there's two sides of the coin. That's law. Everything operates by law. What are you affirming? When I say, what are you affirming? What are the words you think? What are you focusing on? Declare the outcome that you desire. It's mine. It is done. I'm so happy and grateful now. It is done. And how do you feel? Your feelings are a direct barometer. When you think debt, struggles, times are tough, government sucks, politics sucks, religion sucks, this sucks, everything sucks. What are you focusing on? Find that good. Find that good. Because whatever you say, whatever you think and say, you do. You do. I hope you get it, as Rex says. I like the way he asks questions in that. And then, like Einstein says, all our accumulation, our thoughts, our beliefs, our habits, our actions have led us to where we are today. If you continue doing those same thoughts, same behaviors, same actions, you're going to be in exactly the same place where you are today. So there might be some circumstances that roll in that modify it, but in reality, you didn't really change the needle or the barometer. You didn't make any radical changes in relationship what you desire, what you want. So your past brought you to where you are. If you're not satisfied where you are, you got to start changing to create a new outcome. What's your bulk thinking? I like what he just said. He asked a question. What's your bulk thinking throughout the day? Yes, we go ups and downs, positives, negatives, circumstances come in and out. But what is your overall thinking pattern about? Is it more heavily weighted to negative, or is it more heavily weighted to positive? Mine isn't 100% positive, I'll be honest with you. And then lastly, if you really want something, and I like what, Napoleon, what do you want? But Bob Proctor, what do you want? But take it to the next level. What do you really desire? What do you really desire in creating a life on your terms? See, desire is the emotion that you're seeking. Everybody wants something. Want doesn't do anything. It's only when you put a little bit of fuel on it. Desire moves you into action in a positive way. What do you desire? And you will find a way. You'll find a way. So with that all said, Rex Sikes' book, powerful book, causes you to think, ask good questions, be clear on your why, your purpose, and vision. Analyze your thoughts. What are you focusing on? If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. You'll find that you'll desire it. You'll find a way. Celebrate from the past. Don't stay there. Move on. Take those things you can build on, those things that were disappointments or struggles. What did you learn from it? And move on. What could I do differently? Not better. What can I do differently? What's a self-fulfilling prophecy that you're telling yourself? So with that, everybody, have a great day. I am so grateful. Tag and share. Turn on your notifications. And we'll see you on Elevate Your Profits tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern with Wes Wyatt.